Christopher that will be working with me today. Hello, Christopher. My name is Kia Price, and I'm a student at Laterno University. I will be doing this psych initial intake assessment just to see exactly what brought you in, what makes you interested in undergoing therapy. We'll also explore the different stressors that you may currently be undergoing, as well as what your previous coping skills were and how we can get you to your desired state. But before that, I do have to go over a few things with you. I am a mandated reporter, so if there is any if I have any inkling that there may be abuse to a child, a disabled person, or an elderly person, I am required to report it either to Child Protective Services or to Adult Protective Services. You did sign a confidentiality and consent form before we did speak. Did you have any questions about that or me being a mandated reporter?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so just to get started, tell me a little bit about yourself. What brings you into counseling?
For the longest, I thought that I needed just another opinion on a lot of the things that I faced in my mind, and it gets to the point where you feel like you don't have solutions and you just want a second opinion in general. And not everybody that you feel like you're around has the right mindset that you're looking for.
Right.
So I thought that it would be good for me to come in and get just a different kind of insight on what I've been thinking about, how I face life in general, and all of the things that I wanted to accomplish and the things that I feel that personally hold me back myself.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm glad you came in. What are some of the things that you feel are holding you back?
I feel like bigger than anything, you yourself as a person hold you back, and I feel like that's my biggest problem. I feel like I hold myself back dealing with procrastination or frustration, distractions in general, finding myself angry about something that I've dealt with prior to that just overtakes what I'm thinking about or what I'm supposed to be doing in general.
Right.
Um, that's mainly it, just distracting.
Right.
Distractions in general around me, dealing with things I myself deal with, or helping other people out around me when I should be more focused on myself.
Fair enough. So, whenever you say that distractions and procrastinations have been a hindrance, what would you say are those two things hindering?
I feel like they stunt my growth in my life in general, dealing with what I want to do for a career or how I raise my son. I feel like there are definitely, you can always be a better parent, but I feel like in general there are things that I could do differently to improve what I do as a father,
Mm.
or whatever job that I want. I feel like a lot of the time I lose sight of what it is that I'm really trying to accomplish, which is to, in general, further myself in my career field or just find what it is in general that I want to do dealing with career.
Right. I think it's very difficult to, actually be able to find what your true calling is, and it's very easy to become a little discouraged in the pursuit. And, because it's like you get tired of going through it. I think that it is easy, to be distracted by other things because it's so tedious.
Yeah.
Tedious. So how would you feel, or what would it mean to you for you to be able to come out of that state of procrastination or distraction?
As of right now, I'm not really sure. I'm just trying to find the answers in general. I'm hoping that this will give me some sort of guidance later on. As of right now, I couldn't really tell you truthfully.
Understood. How would it make you feel?
I would feel accomplished. I would feel like everything that I set out to do was set in motion how I planned. Like, even if it all didn't, like, I'm not assuming everything would come to a head immediately, but I feel like as long as I have some sort of progress, I'll feel like I've accomplished part of what I needed to.
Yeah, that's big. That for sure. So I know you said that some of your concerns lie in your your current behaviors of procrastination or distraction. Would you say that you have any other concerns or stressors that you do want to address in therapy?
Mm, a lot of the things that I expected for a lot of the things that I expected that I would hold on to, I feel as if I've shed them. So overall, no, I feel like that's genuinely what's bothering me the most. That's what I need to address.
So, what would you like to accomplish during the therapeutic process?
I would like to get to a point to where I feel my mind itself isn't holding me back from doing things that I need to accomplish. Like I don't sit and wallow in disappointment or bad decisions because at the end of the day, that's just a part of life, and I need to be willing to accept that. And I feel like that's one of my biggest problems: accepting things for what they are instead of just moving on. I hold on to things for extended periods of time, and I know that it causes me to slack off. And I feel like that's where those distractions are biggest because I lose sight of what's really important.
So, do you think that in therapy that the that we would be able to work together to reach your desired state, which is which, and please correct me if I'm wrong, it is kind of changing the way that you view things, to where you're able to move on from the things that you can't change and be able to become more accomplished.
I believe so.
Okay, I would like to think so too. Okay, and so how do you think that your life would change if you were able to kind of free yourself from the own constraints of your mind?
I feel like if I were able to have a sharper mind in general, a lot of the things that I feel I'm not good enough for, or the things that I find myself consistently chasing to be better about, I feel like those things would be moved to the back burner, and I would be able to complete most of the tasks that I have set out for myself. Like if I want a steady job, something that I think that I can stay in for 5, 6 years, 10 years, whatever I decide future wise, I would know right off the bat, like, this is what I'm gonna do, this is how it's gonna go, and as long as I can keep my focus and maintain where I am now, I don't have to worry about all of the excesses. I can worry about emergencies. I can worry about things that are more important, not simple things that are serious.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You mentioned sharpening your mind. What does that look like to you, or what does that mean to you? What are some activities that you feel do that?
When I read, I feel like I have a better understanding of what it is that's going on around me. I feel like it slows my mind down. It allows me to analyze things a lot better instead of my mind racing how it does usually. I feel like my mind is constantly racing, and I feel like that's why I become so distracted because I can't ever sit and focus on one topic. My mind is moving 1,000 miles per hour, and I'm still in the same place.
Right. I understand. I understand. Okay, so reading. So it sounds like that's something that you like to do. Is it something that you say that you do enough of?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Okay. Okay. And then you also said something to the effect of you would like an occupation that you can see yourself in for at least 5, 6, or even 10 years. Um, what type of career field do you think that you may have interest in to where that would be able to be accomplished?
the thing. I'm not really sure. There are other things that I've considered. I've considered being a teacher. I've considered working in electricity. Like, that's the thing. My mind wanders so much. It's hard for me to focus and be like, I think that that's something that I would really enjoy doing.
Mm.
I feel as if a lot of the times I feel that, and then my mind is next flips over, and I'm like, yeah, but this would also be really cool, or this would also be really good to accomplish. I would feel a lot better if this is what I was doing long term instead of just
Okay, understood. Have you made any strides to pursue any of those things where you think that you may be making an impactful difference?
no. I find myself really hesitant to commit to those things because I feel as if I don't want to get stuck doing something that I end up not loving in general.
Okay.
Like I feel as if I don't enjoy it, and I feel as if I wasted my time. Even though, like in life, I realize nothing is really a waste of time. You learn something from all situations, but I don't always feel that way. Like
Right.
as much as I understand that's probably the truth, it doesn't mean that that's how I always see things. And I just want to be able to understand that right off the bat instead of dealing with those radical situations to where I'm losing sight of what's important.
Right. Well, you definitely aren't obligated to feel any certain type of way. Definitely, whenever we're considering your time or anything like that, you aren't obligated to always take everything as a lesson learned, even though that's probably the more optimistic way of looking at everything for sure. Okay, so um, I know that you said that like your Vine races is that new?
No, I've always been like that since I was a kid. It's never really been slowed down to where I can concentrate on one thing for forever. The only thing I feel is if I really paid attention to for a long time was when I was playing music, when I was in band as a kid. That was something that I was really easily able to focus on, like working on that. I was actually really good at playing, but I don't know. I never really feel as if anything else captured my attention like that.
Hmm. Do you still play an instrument now?
No, I haven't touched my instrument in years now. It's probably been, man, I want to say 7, 8 years.
In addition to reading, would that be something that you'd be kind of interested in repursuing or?
Definitely, if I could get my hands on one, if I could get my hands on a baritone, I would definitely start playing again. I actually had somebody ask me recently if I remember how to play. I was like, yeah, I remember how to play. I can't tell you, I can't promise you I'd be any good, but it's definitely something that I would be interested in.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Um, of the different things that you mentioned that you would like to discuss throughout counseling, what would be the most important for you to get resolved?
I feel like my lack of patience, being able to just sit and comprehend things as they are instead of trying to overthink situations and ending up making them worse.
Mm, okay. And how would your life change if you did have more patience?
I feel like a lot of the situations that I face that are critical, I feel like I would have a better level head in situations that I think are the ones that are most tasking, the ones that make you feel like this weighs a lot on your shoulders, like this is a really important decision, and if you don't make the right one, it can really affect my life like later on down the road. And I would rather just be able to make those with clear heads instead of panicking and feeling like I'm weighed down by stress.
Mm. So, just to kind of summarize, you'd like to um, have more patience to where maybe you're more patient with yourself and having a little bit more of a level head, as you said, to make the best decision the first time around, in attempts to not waste your time. Okay, sounds good. So prior to coming to speak with me today, have you had any psychiatric experience before? Have you been hospitalized? Have you had any previous
Uh,
counseling sessions?
I've never been hospitalized. When I was younger, I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I had people speak to me every time that I had to get a refill. They always talked to me and made sure I was okay. But it was really simple questions. They didn't really ask me about my life in general. They just kind of asked me, like, hey, do you have suicidal thoughts? Do you think about hurting anybody else or yourself? Or do you find yourself more aggressive or less aggressive? Like, it wasn't really personal questions about me. It was more so, like, I felt like it pertained to, I guess, side effects of the medicine rather than me myself.
Okay. Have you ever felt like you wanted to harm yourself?
Uh, Maybe a couple of times, but overall, no. I don't really put that kind of thought in my head. I don't consistently feel that way. Like, I felt hopeless like that maybe twice, but it's not something that's common for me at all.
Okay. And just to confirm, you don't feel that way now?
No.
Okay. Excellent. Have you or any member of your family received treatment for drugs or alcohol? Like abuse, more so?
Not within my immediate family, not that I know of personally.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. Sounds good. And then I just want to ask a few questions about your medical history, and then just a little bit more about your biographic background. So do you have any allergies that you know of?
No, not that I know of.
Okay. I know that you said that you took medication as a result of your attention deficit diagnosis. Do you still take that medication now?
No, it's been about 6 years since I last took Adderall.
Okay. Okay. And are you currently using any supplements?
No.
And do you have any major medical problems or diagnosis, so like diabetes, hypertension, COPD?
No.
No.
Not anything. Diabetes runs in my family, but I don't have it as far as I know.
Okay. Okay. Understood. That's good. That's good. Okay. And then just so a little bit of your biographic information. What's your level of education?
High school graduate.
Okay. And have you ever served in the military?
No.
No. Okay. And what are your religious beliefs?
I'm not very big on religion. Like, I feel as if there's a higher entity, but I don't necessarily believe it's God, like a Christianity or anything like that. I feel as if there's something above us that does have a higher form of life, but I don't think that we're it, as most people would have us believe. I feel like there's more to everything. I feel like this is all much more complex than it's said to be. But personally, no, I don't really believe in God. I don't state myself as a non-believer or someone that is an extremist. I'm just there.
Okay. You said that you do believe in a higher power or a higher being. Do you think that you have free will?
I do. I do. I feel like if we didn't, it would seem very far-fetched. But that's one of the things that's one of the reasons as to why I am like more so open to things like that. But yeah, overall, I feel like we do make all of our own decisions. I feel like at the end of the day, if there is an afterlife as like what they want us to believe, like I feel like if we didn't make our own decisions, the concept of that would be entirely pointless. So it's really hard for me to determine.
a lot of conflicting opinions from people in what the present and definitely the future hold for our spirits for sure. Okay. All right. So just to kind of summarize this initial session, you have been undergoing obstacles with overcoming procrastination and managing distractions as it pertains to more lifelong decisions such as a career or being a parent or even just patience within yourself. Some of your interests that you would like to get back to where you are able to be kind of your at your optimal level would be from reading as well as playing the baritone. You do have a previous diagnosis of ADHD. Would you say that that may have something to do with you now?
I feel as if it's more so in my head as rather like an actual diagnosis. I feel as if that was something that was kind of used as like a coping mechanism for my parents, so that they didn't have to deal with me as like rather me myself at this point in time. I feel like a lot of the reason as to why I'm not able to do the things that I want are mainly my fault. Like I feel as if it's because I'm not doing something the way I should be doing. Like I'm not focusing the way I should be doing, or I'm allowing something to distract me. Because it's not as if, oh, you're sitting around and suddenly you're thinking about something else, but that's how things are. I can't just change that, but I can. It's my decision at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It absolutely goes back to the free will that you strongly feel that each of us have. So definitely see where you're coming from there. And so our goal, one of our main goals, is to get you to the state of increased patience for yourself, and I and dare I say even increased self confidence to where you're able to make the to where you feel as though you are confident in whatever decision that you're making at that time. And then if it doesn't work out, then we'll just go from there. But I look forward to being able to work with you further. Do you have any questions? Did you have anything else you wanted to mention that you would like to discuss in more detail later?
No, I think as of right now, I think we've covered everything.
Okay. Okay. I'm glad you feel that way. And Christopher, I want to thank you again for coming in. We will schedule in your next appointment. I look forward to being able to work alongside you to help you get to whatever achievement level you're trying to. And want to thank you again for coming in. Thank you for viewing Dr. Allen. I look forward to your feedback. Have a blessed week.